Hello and welcome to Tech Talk, a podcast which brings you technical hints and tips for all your studio, camera, audio, visual and otherwise needs. I'm David Allen.
And I'm Callum McElwain.
In this episode, we're going to be giving you a little back-to-school shopping list of things we feel would be helpful for you to get. Maybe you're a wee bit spending money for Christmas, or you want to spend your bursary or loan more productively as part of your resolutions for the year. Yeah,
Santa was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this list that we have put together it's more of a recommended shopping list, but not a essential one. This is not something that needs to be immediately purchased all in one go. It's not something that needs to be purchased full stop. It's just the kind of things that we have found in our professional careers and with the professional careers of other members of staff found that these are the items that pop up most of the time. Oh man, I wish I had one of those. So we're trying to sort of nip that in the bud before it becomes serious in your professional career.
Yep. I mean, if you're in fourth year or masters, then we're kind of leaning more towards maybe you should really get one of these.
Yeah, but in first, second, third year, for example, you might think, oh, I might get one of those, and we're kind of pushing along that way. I know myself, I've spoken to a few students in different courses over the last term, and this has been a project that I've been working on since September, and it seems to have had quite a fair bit of acceptance from the student cohort. So here we are, we're finally doing it. Prepare your Amazon wish lists and your SaaS payment.
Yeah. So we've kind of broadly grouped these by areas of practice, given the sort of various courses there are across the arts and media division. But some of them are kind of like general things that regardless of your course, I think you've already kind of hinted to that, Callum, that you should be thinking about. Again, all just suggestions, but speaking of general things, we're going to start talking about portable SSD, solid state drives.
Solid state drives, yeah. Specifically SSDs. There are portable hard drives, which are, pardon me, they are good for what they need to be, but they're not rugged enough for some of our course requirements. So if you're a filmmaker out in a field somewhere, which happens, or you're a musician that's recording in a different music studio every week for a month straight, throwing things into a bag and stuff like that, for example, the thing with SSDs is there's no moving parts to them. There's no spinning discs. There's nothing like that. They're more reliable. They're faster, but they do come with a cost, unfortunately, which is a bit of a shame. And at the moment, as of recording this in January 2026, there is a current, we'll call it a crisis, shall we, with the computing world?
There's a crisis or a trend, if we want us to sound more calm about it.
Yeah.
But the computing world, a lot of chip manufacturers, a lot of like graphics card manufacturers are prioritising generative AI data centres.
Yes.
So that means that us, the consumer, might wind up having to pay way more for.
Yeah, so we have noticed a wee bit of an upward trend in terms of pricing for like per terabyte on these things, and on the terabyte thing, I've got 3 examples here. Again, these don't need to be purchased immediately.
Yeah,
these are just recommendations, but they're all roughly the same kind of price, and there's a little bit of a difference between the two of them. So the first one we've got here is the SanDisk Extreme 1 terabyte drive. Big part of this one is it's water resistant. Is a huge deal.
So if you're taking it out on location.
Yep. Out on location, throwing it into a bag where a water bottle bursts happens. It does. These things are really are sort of rugged and built for that sort of thing. USB-C on all of them, and sort of super fast data speeds, reliability, doesn't overheat, stuff like that. But they come at a cost of about 110 quid, give or take. So they're not super cheap, and that's for 1 terabyte, which for music students, for example, is thousands of sessions. For our radio students and our podcast students, that is hundreds, if not thousands, of podcasts. For our filmmaking students, though, 1 terabyte is a shoot, maybe, depending on how high resolution you're filming with some of our kit, or what you choose to work with at home. So the sort of size of drives is dictated by the usage of it and the type of course that it is. But the big part of portable SSDs in the filmmaking side of things, note this one, specifically this wee SanDisk and the next one that we'll talk about, they can be attached to some of our cameras and you can record directly to them as well. They're fast enough to take 4K recording from cinema cameras to those drives. The second one that we've got here is the Samsung T9. It used to be the T7. They've moved up to the T9. The T7 still exists. Still a great drive. I've got one at home. Again, about 110 quid. And the last one is the Lacey, the rugged SSD 1 terabyte. That's the.
This is like the Rolls Royce.
Yeah. They're about 150 quid for a terabyte, which is a lot of money. But with the Lacey stuff, it comes in that sort of rugged, the big orange enclosure, which everyone, if you've been on film sets or in music studios, you'll have seen these big orange hard drives before. That's what they are. But they also come with like recovery services and stuff like that as well. So that's a big part of theirs. So if you lose any of the data on the drive, you can go through their services to do that. But
CSI level of data.
Oh yeah. Hacking into the mainframe of your drive to get your data back. Your oh so important podcast that's going to change the world. Yeah. Is going to be on this drive. But so those are the portable SSDs that we recommend. It sounds an awful lot like, we're going for brand names because whatever, but the reason you go for them is because they've got support setups. You know, there's nothing stopping you from picking up a £40 Amazon Basics 2 terabyte hard drive, but whether or not it'll last your whole 4 years at uni is to be decided. How well you treat your kit, to be fair. I've got drives that are like that have lasted for years because I'm quite good with them, but I don't take them in and out of my bag. They stay in one place
on
my desk.
That kind of thing.
These are more designed for the people who need to run around with it as well.
I mean, at home I've got a SanDisk and it doesn't leave my desk. I just use it to back up all my media stuff.
I've got mine set as a time machine at home on my Mac, so that's all it's there for. This one's more for you though. Actually, this is more your bag.
USB pen drive. So in terms of the studio setup we have here, it's old-fashioned USB-A rather than USB-C. So you are not going to get away with a USB-C hard drive unless you get a dongle. But that's spoiling a wee bit. So we've got a couple of USB pen drives here. So we'd offer more than one manufacturer where possible, but in terms of pen drives, it's basically just SanDisk. 128 gigabyte, handy for, that's let's say about roughly an hour's worth of WAV recording is a gigabyte. So that's 128 hours of, if you're going to hoard all of your audio in the pen drive. Obviously don't. No. But yeah, so 128 USB-A, £14.99. That's a bargain. I can remember when it was a lot more expensive for that much. Then there is also an Ultra Dual Drive Go available in USB-C and A.
It flips.
It's a flippy one.
It's one of the wee flippy guys,
that's £20 on the nose, but that does give you that dual thing of you'll avoid needing a dongle if you've got a modern kind of MacBook or that. Yeah.
The big part of this as well is having multiple different types of storage drives is really important.
Back up.
Yeah, and it falls down into the rule of three that we've kind of developed through people here, is that for anything that you do at university to exist, it needs to exist 3 times. In a lot of university settings, and definitely in a lot of professional settings, there's no forgiveness for, my hard drive failed or this and that.
My dog ate my hard drive.
My dog ate my hard drive. But like, if you have a client, for example, who wants the raw files of the video that you filmed for them, you need to make sure that you have them. So on top of these little 1 terabyte SSDs and these wee pen drives and stuff, for example, storing them onto your computer. We're assuming that if you're coming to university, you've got yourself a laptop of some sort or an iPad or something like that, for example, like saving it directly onto the device that it was done on, but also as part of a student at UWS and in most other universities as well,
OneDrive.
You'll get OneDrive storage, and you'll get a terabyte of OneDrive storage with your student account, and you use it. You can access it at any computer in the university, and it means that if you're worried that, you know, a bit of footage that was really, really, you know, really like you shot the best thing of all time, and you just really want to keep a hold of that, then you can put it into OneDrive. But also things like essays and stuff as well.
Yep.
Save them in multiple places. And you kind of alluded to it then with the idea of the USB-A to USB-C thing. The point of that is some of the computers that are in the library, for example,
they also have USB-A,
are all USB-A,
well.
and so don't have USB-C adapter points to them or anything. So having, you know, like a wee cable adapter, or even having a USB-A thumb drive or pen drive is really just a handy little thing to have in case of an emergency. But dongles do exist. We are in the world of dongles, and we have been for about a decade now.
That's a good segue.
It is a good segue, thank you. So we've come up with about...
There's 4 here?
Yeah, 3 or 4. We've gone for one brand, but this doesn't really matter, to be honest with you. There's no real reason to stick with one. It's just we use this brand sometimes personally.
And we've had no issues with them.
Had no issues, and it seems to be decent value and stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say crucially very, very cheap.
Yeah. So Ugreen is the company that we've found a lot of stuff on Amazon for, but things like Anchor and you know, even places like HP and Dell make their own stuff as well. So they're all in this, but this is just a USB-C hub. It's a tenner at the moment. It's normally a little bit more expensive than that, but at the moment it's $8.99, I think. Yeah, it's normally $12.99, so even at that, it's not too bad, which gets you 3 USB-As and a USB-C, which is a pass-through for power, so you can charge at the same time, but also an HDMI port. So if you've decided that you're going to, you know, put something up on a TV screen,
you need to do a presentation or something.
Yeah, you can have that saved. The other ones are niche, and this is more just if you want one for yourself, to be fair. It's USB-C to headphone ports, because obviously phones don't come with that anymore. That's not a thing
anymore.
Ugreen's one's $8.99, and they've also got a Lightning one to headphone ports, $13.99, a bit more expensive. You can get cheaper Lightning port ones if you've got an older iPhone model. The Apple official one used to be $8.99. I'm sure you could probably still find it in some stores, but $13.99 is the Ugreen one, seems to be. That'll be because they're phasing out Lightning.
Lightning, it's obsolete.
Which is a bit of a which you know, it's a hard way of doing it.
End of an era.
Yeah. The last one here is a bugbear of both mine and David's.
Yes. the so-called wee to big adapter.
Yes, the smallie to biggies are the headphone adapters to take it from the 3.5mm to the 1/4" jack size on headphones. These are the things that go missing immediately.
Yeah.
Some of our headphones, the ones that we're wearing right now, have got screw tips to them, so they don't go anywhere. They shouldn't go anywhere, but they do. And we found that, like, see, just owning a couple of them yourself, especially if you're a radio or music student specifically, or you're a student that's focused in audio, is one to do.
It's good to have a
so
just in case.
I found a pack of 5 here for $6.99, and to be honest, as long as you don't throw them away, you will probably keep a hold of them for years and years and years. Moving on from headphone adapters
to actual headphones.
A great thing to bring into university is a decent set of wired headphones. Specifically wired, not wireless. A lot of our devices don't have Bluetooth connectivity because funnily enough, a lot of pro audio gear doesn't do it. It doesn't take Bluetooth.
So this is like the old school analogous to playing Call of Duty and Halo online with wired controllers because of the latency that was allegedly inherent in wireless.
There is, I mean, like, to be fair, if you want to get nerdy about it, there is a latency to it, and if you are doing critical audio work on set, or if you're recording an artist or something, or you're doing a radio show, that half
needs to be wired,
millisecond of delay, that will be annoying. But a lot of it's connectivity, truthfully. You can physically plug into a lot of headphone amps or recording devices or cameras even, you know, if you're gonna monitor sound. One of the big things that we do when we're handing out our portable audio recording setups is we always ask, do you need a pair of headphones with that? Because you need to be monitoring what you're doing. So the ones that we use in the equipment store are the Audio-Technica M20Xs, ATH M20Xs. They're about 45 quid. So not pennies. there are cheaper headphones out there. These are just run of the mill, do the job, relatively comfortable, sound good enough, job done. But we put another one there.
We Sennheiser HT400S is 35 quid.
They're normally about 60.
Yeah.
So at the moment they're 35, which is a great wee deal. And
price is correct at recording.
Yes, prices are correct as of recording time. Yes, they are also Bluetooth as well, Bluetooth and wire.
Yeah,
so you'll find that some Bluetooth headphones do come with wires to them as well, and that doesn't drain the battery or anything. So these are the same.
So you're around 35 to 45 for headphones. Again, like Callum said, there are slightly cheaper options, but see, in these kind of two particular examples, I've had older versions of these, but I've had a pair of Sennheiser headphones that did me about 10 years. I've still got a set of M20Xs at home I've had for about 10 years as well. So it's, if you break it down into, you know, how much you've paid annually if your headphones are lasting that long, then yeah. It's a long-term investment.
Yeah, these are the kind of things, and like, it's the kind of thing that if you buy one, yes, okay, things happen, cables fray, and the leather starts to go, but all these parts are replaceable as well. At not very much of a fee to replace it as well. Sticking with the hearing side of things, one of the big things, this is more for our music students, and this is a thing that we have really been pushing, is a good set of earplugs, like hearing protective earplugs. I found a pair here from ACS. It's called the Picato 19s. We do have hearing protection in the kit store, but it's the type of foam ones that are good enough for like a rehearsal, but there's a reason I can buy them in a pack of 200 sort of thing, I think is the point. And these different type of earplugs, as opposed to being like sound blocking, as opposed to basically like fundamentally being the same as
loop.
Well, no, this is like, other than fundamentally being putting your fingers in your ears sort of thing, these do frequency and volume, not just block. So a lot of the time, a lot of the things that will lead to hearing issues is actually sometimes frequency. It's not, this isn't scientific fact, but it is frequency. Yeah. And so high frequency things, guitars, cymbals, voices, stuff like that, for example, that's the kind of stuff that sounds really loud at gigs and live events. And so what these do is they basically put like a shelf on those frequencies, and it saves you from having some serious hearing fatigue at the end of the gig. And to be honest, man, for 15 quid just to save your hearing, like, I can't stress that enough. It's such an important part of your musical or your audio related careers. Just pay the 15 quid and do it that way.
Yeah. Even if you want to be a photographer at gigs, or if you're filming at gigs, if you're running the audio through your camera, you'll have headphones on anyway. But if you're just like taking pictures in that earplugs essential.
100%. You mentioned loop really quickly. The loop earplugs, fine for day to day. I've never tried them for a live event. I'd need to get a little bit more feedback on that, but they seem to be about the same kind of price. So they would be fine as well. I guess this is kind of my...
It's segued into the musician part.
Yeah, this is kind of my bit, isn't it? Yeah. So I will rattle through this really fast, because these are the kind of things that musicians should have for their own instruments and their own devices. This is more like a musician's toolkit. You don't necessarily need this for uni, but this is the kind of thing that we would probably recommend you have.
Maybe in a future episode we'll talk about the poo bag.
Oh yes. The good golly bag. I'm big into creating redundancy in these situations, and like having backups and having saved things, and so this is the kind of stuff that we would recommend. So guitar strings and bass strings, if you're a bass player, guitar strings can range anywhere from sort of $7.99 all the way up to about 10-11 quid if it's steel string electric stuff. Bass strings are quite expensive. They're about 18 to 20 quid, so you need to be a little bit careful with the prices on them. But to be honest, you don't have to change bass strings as much as you would change your guitar strings. What we do recommend though is a good conscious effort to put into it is change your strings before you start recording. It's such a simple thing. I mean, like, a singer wouldn't come in without warming up. Why would you not come in without making sure your guitar sounds the best it can? Having sets of guitar picks is really helpful. I don't have any links for guitar or bass strings or guitar picks or well, I mean, I say guitar picks, but it could be ukulele picks, bass guitar picks, it can be whatever. These are personal choice of yourselves. What you like might be different to what I like, so I've not put in any recommendations there, but they're anywhere between sort of $3.99 to $9.99. They're stocking filler kind of things. Your own capo, if you're playing with that kind of, if you're playing with a capo, have your own one. That's great. The kind of thing that we do in the kit store is we don't tend to have perishable items like that. Picks. We have strings to restring our guitars, but capos, drumsticks, stuff like that, for example, these are the type of items that, because they are so easy to lose and sometimes they go walkies themselves.
They disappear, yeah.
Yeah, just like the headphone adapters. There's just no point in kind of replacing them. But also most of our students who come along and have a need for that have got their own or have a way around it. I found capos for about £7, £5 to £7.50, something like that, for example. Yeah. This one here is more like if you just want to have something like a wee peg winder and string cutter. They're really handy to have if you need to make a string change on the fly. Instrument cables, I've put two here. I've put one from Blackstar. These are both 20-foot cables, so 6 meters, so they're quite long. The Blackstar one is straight to straight, and the Stag one that I've got here is straight to right angle. So some guitars,
right,
dependent on the guitar, having like the right angle cable like that, and just having straight to straight, it depends on what you want. And then my last one here is drumsticks. I found a pack of 4 here. The ProMark drumsticks. Doesn't have to be ProMark. It could be Vic Firth. It could be another brand that you wanted. Pack of 4 there for 40 quid. Seems to be on offer at the moment as well. Drumsticks for a pair are normally about a tenner to 13, 14 quid. Depends on what you go for. If it's nylon tipped or if it's just straight wood. They're just a set of 5As. That seems to be the sort of standardised size for drumsticks. So I've just put them in. But obviously, again, that's very personal to the drummer. But also the type of thing that we don't have in the kit store, which is
drumsticks.
Drumsticks, which is not because I want to be mean about it. It's just they break, and because they cost a tenner to fix every time.
Plus, knowing a few drummers, I think some drummers are like, no, I can tell that these aren't sticks I normally play with. I don't like them.
You can be quite particular, or particular, I guess.
Yeah, particular.
You can have that one for free. So that's kind of the end of the music stuff. In the filmmaking world, a lot of the filmmaking stuff is provided for our students. The cameras that we're filming this podcast on are provided from the kit store. This is all equipment that is available to any of our students. So 99% of the stuff that needs to get done is made available to you. Card readers, batteries, the cards that go in the cameras themselves, the lenses, the tripods, stuff like that. That's all available to you. These are little tiny items that would maybe come in handy if you were on set, basically. Yeah. So I'll let you take this one away if you want. Okay,
cool. Yeah. So first, it's Allen Key.
David Allen Key.
Yeah. See, that's spelled with an E rather than an A, but well. Yep. So you're going to have to, you can use Allen keys to tighten up parts on cameras, on tripods, that kind of thing. They're just helpful to have. Electrical tape as well. So Allen key set is a tenner, but that gets you loads of the different.
Yeah, I think it's about 8 or something.
Yeah. So
again, that's a basic one that I found within 2 minutes on Amazon search.
But you could be a lifesaver on set if you have one. Electrical tape, pack of 10, multicoloured, is also a tenner. And multicoloured duct tape is a pack of 5, 16 quid. Finally, just plain old duct tape is $7.99. So Callum, why are we getting filmmakers to go and get an arts and crafts box together?
Yeah, I mean, great. Well, to be fair, and you can't see this in camera, but we in this room we have had to tape a flag to the wall to stop some of the reflections, and it has been held up beautifully by 2 strips of duct tape.
Yep.
Thanks to Gareth for setting that up. No, this is just the kind of stuff that if something's falling apart, and you can tape it back together for the 2 minutes that you need for that scene to take place. Fine. If you need to mark out where actors are meant to stand, or where the tripod's going to sit. So you're putting your marks down. If you're just labeling things, truthfully, that's such a basic thing.
So you could have just bought a hard drive, but you forgot to stick it out, so you just green tape or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
or like if you've got multiple hard drives, you can have them taped in color coordination to say this one's full, this one's ready to be used, or this one's not to be plugged into a camera, or this one has this project on it, for example.
Yeah.
In the musician world as well, it says film here, but in the musician world, having your own wee bits of tape on like stage and stuff helps as well. The multicolour duct tape specifically is also fabric tape, which is easier to write on and normally easier to lift off of things as well. It doesn't leave as much residue, whereas like the electrical tape is great, but it sometimes gets a bit sticky if you leave it on for ages. And duct tape's just duct tape.
Yep.
Fixes everything. That's the point. I mean, that's it's a big roll of it that I found there. $7.99 is a lot of money for tape at the end of the day, but
it's a lot of tape for your money.
For your money. So it's one of those. And going on to the labelling of things, a pack of 5 Sharpies is £3.50, and oh my days, buy a pack of Sharpies.
Yep.
For £3 for the price of a meal deal.
Hi.
Yeah, a pack of Sharpies is will literally save the day sometimes if you're labeling something.
Yep.
Or if you've got an actor who has been wearing something and it's been marked or something, or they've like ripped a hole in their jeans, and you just need to like colour in their leg just to make sure. Like you'd be really surprised on the kind of stuff that you can fix with a Sharpie. That's a pack of 5. There was like a pack of 12 and stuff in there as well. You don't need that much, but we use them all the time. They're just really handy to have all the time.
They are.
And if you're a musician, it's to sign set lists for people who come up to you at the end of the show. True story, happened to me in December.
Yeah, blimey. And sort of the kind of final thing in your toolkit is a multi-tool. That has what? Pliers,
flathead screwdrivers, little we'll have
Phillips heads.
Yeah, we'll have screwdriver types on it. Yeah, the flathead thing will be used for tripod tools most of the time, but also like prying things open and stuff. It's sometimes dependent on which ones there are. I think the one I've put down here has a blade on it if you need to cut something.
Yeah,
obviously be careful, cut away from yourself.
Yeah, disclaimer.
But this one's about 20 quid, which is
loads of tools, and that one kind of
20 quid is cheap for a multi-tool. It is cheap. There are different brands, as Leathermans and Swiss and stuff like that, for example. Those are the type of ones that if you get a good one, that will last you forever, sort of thing. These ones are probably fine, but I'm trying to keep it in a budget here, as opposed to going like spend 280 quid on a Leatherman that comes in 45 different tools in it, and you're going to use 3 of them. These ones are probably more like it for most of our filmmakers. The last one on film, going back up to the start of the whole thing, is just SD cards. Yeah. But fast SD cards. So the one that we've got here, again, SanDisk, but there's a couple other companies. We could use Lexar, we could use Angelbird. There's a few of them like that. But the SanDisk stuff seems to be the best sort of value in terms of that. So this is an 128 gig card that's got a 200 megabyte a second read and write speed, which will handle basically everything up to 6K in our Blackmagics. I think the 6Ks require a 300 meg card, but you would do 4K filming on this thing and it would be totally fine. So when you're looking at your cameras, you've got to remember that the higher resolution you film at, the faster the card has to be. So all of the cards that we have in the cameras are rated for the highest capacity, the highest sort of read and write speed that it'll take. But if you want to buy one of your own, you need to factor that in as well.
Yeah. what would happen if I tried to film in a lower speed?
Drop frames. You would drop frames. It would look a bit jittery. It might even crash at points. We've got settings on the Blackmagics that we're filming on here that can either alert you or can stop the filming if the camera detects a frame drop. So, but that's what you'll run into. Lower speed cards are cheaper, yes, but they don't have the capabilities to film. Yeah.
The usual kind of caveats. There is a lovely wee misc section.
Yes, I
is like,
added this just before filming. Yes.
Yeah. It's like, this is sort of like extra wee things that you should kind of look at getting as well, just having with you.
It's just back to school, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
Water bottles. Cannot stress it enough. We've got these handy dandy UWS water bottles. Mine doesn't. Mine's covered in stickers of uni bands and manufacturers that we work with. But having a water bottle it sounds so simple, but honestly, like as the great Blink Clyro would say, staying hydrated is great.
Especially if you're filming in summer.
Especially if you're filming summer, yeah, like things on set, gigs, for example, if you're a singer, keeping your voice. When you're on the radio as well, podcasts. I mean, like when the camera's been cutting between the two of us, we've both been kind of drinking just to keep ourselves hydrated, because we've got the lights on in here and it's getting a wee bit warm. A decent backpack, not like it doesn't have to be like a
school bag,
like a but also doesn't have to be like one of those like cross country rucking backpacks, the ones that are like the size of you. So it's not that,
putting a sleeping bag and stuff in it.
Yeah, but like a decent, like if you go on to, I don't know, like Amazon or Mountain Warehouse or Blacks or something, for example, and you find like a decent like laptop bag, like that kind of thing, night and day, like with compartments to it, brilliant. And I've put some form of small pouches, and what I mean by that is like if you've got little travel bags, like wee sort of medicine bags, the wee ones you get that you can put. Like if you're going on holiday, you put like your deodorants and stuff into it. Yeah, those are great for wee hard drives and stuff, and you can throw them into any bag. And those are the kind of things that, having just some essential amenities, that would be like your wee headphone adapters and stuff like that. But also things like, if you've got painkillers or, breath mints and stuff like that, for example, those are the kind of things that make you very much liked in scenarios. If you're working with other people, you're on set, you're at a gig, you're on location, those are the kind of things that are kind of handy. I'm going to refer to a WhatsApp message that Gareth sent me, because I asked him the other day to tell me what, basically showing up to set, what would you like to have? What would you like a runner to have? What would you like this? So this is very much a filmmaking one, but a lot of this can be applied to transferable skills, transferable bags. Yeah. So in his small bag, he's put pens, black Sharpie, red Sharpie, writing pen, highlighters
for scripts,
a packet of nice tissues, a comb, which I would know all about, chapsticks. Obviously, don't give chapsticks to everyone else, but if you've got spare ones, then like that might save your presenter one day.
Yeah, or your actors.
Or whatever, yep. Painkillers, so things like paracetamol and ibuprofen, you can buy little packs of them from any shop ever, basically, for 23 pence a packet. Safety pins, plasters.
Essential.
Yeah. Sound stickies, what he means by that is the little, they look like fabric plasters to stick lavalier microphones to actors and stuff, so you can hide it under clothes and whatnot. Yeah. AA batteries, a lot of things run on AA batteries, and he's put a trolley token or a pound coin, and that'll be to fix tripods. Yep. To affix the screw into the camera. However, the multi-tool that I put in there has got a flat blade, and you can use that as well. That would do the same thing, but like a coin or a key, for example, like if you've got like a house key, sometimes that'll fit into the slot. And then he's got in a rucksack, which would be close by on set though, so it would be like a safety bag. He's got a pouch with charging cables, USB AC, lightning, whatever, plugs for those power cables, and also portable chargers. These are the kind of things that we didn't even mention it in here, but these are the kind of things that would be really helpful. A small first aid kit or more plasters, more painkillers, a small sewing kit, which I guess completely ruins my Sharpie idea of just colouring in someone's like leg.
Yeah.
Moisturizer, you'd be surprised. Spray deodorant, because it gets hot on set.
Yeah.
A couple of unopened plastic water bottles. So you would have your own, like when we were saying water bottles, we mean like refillable metal water bottles, but having a couple of them. Sun cream, more tissues. It says here actually, and this is a phenomenal shout, of sanitary pads and tampons.
Yep.
Is a brilliant thing to have on set. You no idea when that will happen to somebody. Hand warmers, gloves, hats, extra socks if it's cold. And the last one there is cereal bars. Just like
just keep you going.
Food that can last for months at a time sort of thing. Just having that on hand on set makes you a lifesaver. And that's the point of this list. This list is not to say please go and buy everything, because that's not necessarily fair. These are the kind of things that you can sort of pick up once a month or whatever. For example, you decide, okay, right, I really need a new guitar cable, so they're 15 quid. Go and get that new guitar cable. Yeah. If you can, obviously, like there's, like we have been students before. We understand how this works.
Yeah.
And not everybody claims SAS, and not everyone gets bursaries and stuff like that, and not everyone's working. So we understand that this is like, we're saying, oh, just go and buy it, but that's not everybody's situation.
No.
But these are the kind of things that if you wanted to have you wanted to sort of spend sensibly or wisely to what you're looking to go and do, these are the things that we recommend buying. But they're all of these things are here to make you a hero on the day.
Yep.
If something goes wrong.
And also just to save your own behind in case something happens.
Exactly.
Untoward is the polite way of putting it in terms of your footage, your coursework, etc., etc.
Yep. Really important. I mean, like one of the big things that we get in the kit store all the time is, how can I back this up? And I'm like, oh, well, have you got this? No, I don't. Well, this is the kind of thing that we recommend you get. So I think, David, that might be it.
Yeah, that's us. We've done our back to school.
We've done our back to school
shopping list.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah. Thank you for watching and listening to Tech Talk. We hope that you found it kind of informative, helpful.
I'll leave an Amazon wish list in the description of this video.
Nice.
And I can put it up on Owla and stuff as well, of just everything that's in this list.
Yeah.
And you can sift through it and see what's available.
Quick reference, yeah.
Yep. Remember though that obviously all the prices are correct
at time of recording.
Some of them are on offers, some of them are on back to school deals and stuff like that, for example. So like if you're watching this in March, then it might not be the same deal, but there might be an Easter deal or something coming up or something like that. So remember that like a lot of these prices are subject to change and they fluctuate a lot. And it just kind of depends on what you think you're going to need. Yeah. Yeah.
Because,
thank you.
Yeah. Cheers. And of course, thanks to Callum.
I'm Callum.
You're
Callum.
You're Kit Store Callum. Callum from the Kit Store.
Callum from the Kit Store.
And well, I won't thank myself. Well, I just turned up.
I'll thank you.
Thank
David.
you.
Thank you, David.
Thank you,
Radio David.